cloud data engineering. As part of the cloud data engineering, what are the skills we are going to learn? We outlined, right? Let me quickly recall what we learned yesterday. So now cloud data engineering, mainly we have in the market, what are the three things we have? One is with the combination of Azure, second with the combination of Amazon Web Service, third with the combination of GCP, right? And here I am going to cover the combination of Azure Cloud Data Engineering. We are going to cover. We are doing our end-to-end, end-to-end Azure Cloud Data Engineering. Cloud Data Engineering. Now, as part of this course, what are the skills we are going to learn? As part of this course, we will learn. We will learn number one that is called as Azure Data Factory as well as basic fundamentals of Azure. So we go for first basics of Azure. Okay, that means how to create one storage account, how to create some databases, anything, basics how to start it. The second we'll go for Azure Data Factory. Then we also go for Synapse. Then we also go for Azure Data Bricks. So these all are the Azure relevant things, whatever we have it. Now, we also required any data engineering if you are doing. Nowadays, most of the customers are using big data stack. Without that, will not survive. Though we are using a ADB, internally we are going to use big data Spark, we are going to use it. That is the reason we need to go for big data stack. So we are going to know about big data intro, what do you mean by big data. Then we are going to know about basic Linux commands, because without doing the copy paste of the files one place to another place, moving the things, deleting the things, basic commands you need to know at least in Linux so that you can able to work in the server. Then we need to know about HDFS commands. We need to know, okay, Hadoop file system commands, whatever available, we need to know. Then we need to go for how to create the warehouse inside the big data. We need to know. Then we need to understand what does it mean by scoop. We also go for Spark. So in order to know about the Spark and all, we need some other component, some language is required. That language is either Java or Scala. We need Java, or we need Scala, or we need Python, because any of these three things is required to work with the Spark. We are going to choose Python. We are going to choose because Python is more used language. The reason Python we are going to learn. So we go for here basic Python. We are going to learn about it. Basic Python, and also as basic Python is not enough to do the most of the things. There is a reason advanced Python also I am teaching as part of this one. Once basic Python and advanced Python is completed, we will go for the PySpark. We'll be going for the PySpark. The PySpark is nothing but Python plus Spark combination. We're going to see it over there. Then we will be going for some main interview questions. What are the interview questions we can expect in this entire thing? We're going to know about interview questions. We'll be concentrating. Okay. So I think most of the time, these are the things topics wise I can say we are going to cover. Yesterday, we already missed. I given what I am going to cover down the line another 2.5 months of the time period we are going to close this is we are going to take, okay, 2 months, 15 days we are going to take it. Anyone is hurry and you want to learn quickly, then I have suggestion. We have two batches, 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. So you can go for two batches parallel. You can go and you can learn it. But I suggest one at a time is the best way to learn it. It all depends on your urgency and all. You need to choose the other options. Okay. Now, now let us go and try to start with basics of Azure. I think yesterday already we started with basics of Azure. We started. So as part of the basics of Azure, first thing we need to know how to create the account. I'm not sure and how many people created your accounts. So you need to create a account in the portal.azure.com. We have to create it. So we have two ways are available to create it. One is using your own credit card. Be careful, that is your own credit card. Okay, the credits and all is very important. Okay, we use the $200 credit, whatever you are getting, carefully utilize it. Second option is using the student ID card, student mail ID. Student mail ID, we can register. That is the second approach. In that one, we get the $100, but we can use 1 year, you can use that one. In first case, credit card only within 1 month you have to consume it. That's what the each one has its own policies. If you go to that website, we come to know that one. Now, yesterday we started with the introduction, and in the introduction, I gave here in the introduction I gave here how to create the Azure free account, how to create the Azure student free account, or how to use the sandbox. These are the three things what I said. Initial days in the until I complete the basics of the Azure, you can go ahead and happily you can use sandbox itself. You can use it. Okay, in the sandbox you can practice storage accounts. Those all things you can able to practice it. So today also I want to use the Azure free sandbox. I want to use it. Let me go to the Azure free sandbox. Now it's trying to create it. Let's try to activate it. It will activate. Let it take some time. Now we know yesterday we created one storage account we created. The problem with this sandbox is once you close it, everything work, whatever you did it, everything you're going to lose it. Everything you're going to lose it. In order to not lose means you have to use your own ID, you have to use it. Okay, that is what we have to follow. Now we need to know about the container. I can compare container is nothing but one kind of folder. Under the storage accounts, we are going to create a number of containers. We are going to create it. A number of containers we are going to create it. Okay, one container. Once we created the container, then inside that one we are going to create the folder. Now, if you see the structure, we have here one storage account. Under the storage accounts, we may have a number of containers. Containers 1 to n. We can able to create it. Now, under the containers, may create here a number of folders. We can able to create it. Under the folders, we are going to keep here different types of files. We are going to keep it. Different types of files are going to keep it. This is what the structure. Under storage account, how many containers we can create? A number of containers. Then under container, we can create a number of folders. Under folders, we can create a number of files. We can able to create it. Okay, that's what the meaning of here container and folder. Okay, you can able to see here container we created. Under that one input and output folders we created. There we are trying to upload the files. So whatever file we have in our local system, that we are going to upload it. That's what the story we'll go and try to learn today. Okay, now the sandbox is activated. You can go and you can use the sandbox by opening here portal.azure.com. If you click on azure.portal, it will open with your sandbox account. It is going to open. Now you can notice I'm able to see here mylarr9@gmail.com. It is tagged with the Microsoft Learn Sandbox. It is tagged. Here you can go for the storage accounts. You can go. Then you can see we need to go for create a storage account. Now Automatically you'll get the subscription and resource group. We are going to get it, nothing to do. And storage account name we need to provide. Okay, I'm providing storage account, and today's date I am providing, let's say 23, then 21 is the today's date I am providing. Then it is standard, and as yesterday we learned redundancy. Redundancy, we have four types are available. For the billing purpose, we go with the LRS. LRS is nothing but lowest cost option with basic protection against server rack and drive failures, recommended for non-critical scenarios. Okay, now select this LRS option. You try to select it. Please go for it. Anyone want to know any option, more information? Don't forget we have here I. I stands for information. There you can see the respective URL also. We are able to see it. There we get lot of bunch of information. We are going to get it. What are the options we have it? Let's say LRS. What is the purpose of that one? ZRS, and they clearly given here local redundant storage. Meaning is what? Local redundant storage replicates your storage account three times within a single data center in the primary region. Whatever region we selected, there only it will replicate how many times? Three times. LRS provides at least 99 point up to 11 nines durability of objects over a given year. Okay, so more information I request you people to read here so that will be up to mark. Suppose this is a storage account, they're going to keep here copy 1, copy 2, copy 3 under the same data center. Whatever region we selected, under that region only in the single data center, the three copies will be available. This diagram is speaking all what it is doing. This diagram is speaking, right? Entire story. Are you able to hear me? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So next is available here, zone redundant storage. Okay, that you see this diagram. This is the ZRS. So this is the one zone, let's say East US, West US, okay, something like that. In each data center, they're trying to keep one copy. They're going to keep the entire this building is gone. Entire this building is gone. Still, our data is safe. We're able to get the data from other data centers. We're able to get it. Okay, so that's what the importance, but this ZRS is comparatively costly. It's because they are trying to maintain your file in three different data centers, which are located physically in three different zones. Those are located physically. That's what they're charging more, but this is more critical data. We have it, then we need to choose that one. So these are the available reasons we have it. So you can see big list is available here. These many places they have the data centers. Every 6 months they may be start with one or two extra regions also. This is not a standard one. It will keep on updated. Okay, now we go back and try to understand here. Okay, we understand yesterday redundancy. Then this is standard method we understand. Now go and try to click on here one of the option in the advanced. Click on the advanced. Then we have here data lake storage. Yesterday I did not discuss about something, this data lake storage generation 2. The data lake storage generation 2 hierarchical namespace accelerates big data analytics workloads and enables file level access controls lists. Now, yesterday we created the blob. Yesterday we created the blob, but not the data lake. But not the data lake. Data lake has some more capabilities, storage wise, accessing wise, reading wise, writing wise, extra performance will be there. If you want to get the data lake, if you want to get it, then this option we need to enable it. We are going to work with the big data analytics. We are going to work. Okay, we are going to work with the big data analytics. We are going to work. Then surely you need to enable this option. Now, suppose today I'm enabling this option, enable hierarchical namespace. Then thereafter, I think remaining all things you can leave as it is. Okay, access tier hot and cool. You read more about this information. Okay, what you mean by hot, what you mean by cool. Frequently access data and day-to-day usage scenarios. We are going to select the hot. Infrequently access data and backup scenarios will go for the cool. Sometimes we'll be going for the data only archival purpose. We may require in future, that's what we'll be going for it. At that moment, we'll go for the cool. Other daily are using, then we're going for the hot. Now, let's go and try to click on review. We're trying to click on review. So it's saying as running final validation, running final validation. Now click on create. Okay, it's going to create here one storage account. It's going to create it. And today I enabled here hierarchical event enabled because enabled hierarchical, it's going to support big data analytics. It is going to support, and the whatever it's going to create also, it's called as data lake. It is called as. Okay, shortly we'll see the name of that one. We can able to observe it. Okay. Meanwhile, even I am interested to create one normal one without enabling the hierarchy. I want to create it. Let us try to differentiate both, right? I am trying to create one more, for example, that process will go in the backend. Now I'm creating one more thing, for example, SA, then 2321. Today's one I'm creating, not enabled, sorry, not enabled hierarchy. Okay, it is going more, not enabled hierarchy. Now, if you go and try to select this as LRS, we're selecting this as LRS. And in the advanced tab, we are not enabling this option called as data lakes, storage generation 2. We are not enabling it. Let's click on here review, then click on here create. Running the final validation. Now click on here create. Now this also will create. Now whatever process we did it, the notification button is available. If you click on these notifications, it is going to show you what are the things you submitted, which are succeeded, which are not succeeded. Everything is going to show it. Now let me go to the home, then go to the storage accounts. In the storage accounts, today we created two storage accounts we created, but one only appearing because other one is still going on here. You can see blue line is keep on going, right? Okay, that once it is completed, then we can able to see that one here. Meanwhile, we'll go here and we'll try to analyze this one. Under this one, if you observe carefully, I have I have something terminology now. What is this terminology now we have? What is the terminology now we have? Data lake storage. Data lake storage. People also may interested what is data lake. Well, that is one question. How many versions are there in the data lake? We have two versions, generation one and generation two we have. Nowadays, we don't have option to create a generation one even. Generation two only we have to go. Okay, there are read write patterns wise, speed wise, somewhat data lake generation two is the best. You can read more information what is generation one and generation two differences. Okay, more information you can read about it. Now, this is the data lake storage. It's trying to create it. If you go for other window, let me duplicate this one. For example, I am trying to duplicate it. Then again, go to the home. Now you can notice storage accounts. In the storage accounts, I have now one more storage account also available. Not enabled hierarchy option. Now, not enabled hierarchy option, if you click on that, now you see here, we have here data lake or we have here blob. Now we have here data lake or we have here blob. So the enabling hierarchy option is going to change the behavior. It is a blob we are going to create, or we are going to create the data lake you are going to create, that is decided by this hierarchy option. Hierarchy namespace is enabled means it is a data lake. Hierarchy option disabled means it's a blob. That's how it acts. Okay, now I want to create here, let us say container I want to create under the data lake or blob. Let me click on here data lake storage. Then it's saying as containers, you can go and create it. By default, one container is available that's called as logs is the container. Under the storage account, we can create the containers. And the storage account down the line, we are going to access using different security keys. I will talk more about those things. We have security and networking related keys. If you click on access keys, you are going to get here what is storage account name, key one, connection string, those things. Tomorrow, using Python code, you want to access this storage account you want to access. You are going to access using these keys only, you are going to access it. Okay, I'll talk about this one later. Now, time being, I want to go and I want to create here one container. I want to create it. So under the storage account, we are trying to create the containers. Here in the top, you can notice we have the container option. Click on container. Okay, we are going to work here some input and output. I'm going to pass something as input, something as output. That's the reason I'm giving as input as option. Then say as click on create. Now we're able to see input is the one container it's created. Now, similarly, I want to create here output. I want to create it. Then you can go and you can say output. Then we're able to see output as one container. Under the container, you can create a number of folders. You can create it. Now we are seeing as input container. We are seeing under the container, you see a option called as directory option. We're able to see it. We can add the directory. We can able to add it. Now I'm trying to click on here, add the directory. Now directory name is equal to, we're saying as, okay, um, we're saying as ADF, okay, training files. Suppose something like this, I created ADF training files. Let's try to save it. So now it's created ADF training policy files. It's created. Now this is the one folder what we created. Now you understand. We have the storage account. My storage account name is SA2321. Under that one, we have a container. Container name is input. Under the container, we have here one folder. The folder is called as ADF training files is the folder. Under this folder, as of now, nothing I am seeing it. Am I clear as of now? Yeah.
Yes.
Now, yeah, go and try to upload one file and see how you can do that one. Here we have the option called as upload. If you click on this upload option, then it asks you to a file. Before clicking on upload, I would like to show you one file. Even I used to keep all the files which are required inside this cloud data engineering. I created lab data. I created very generic one. You can see the lab data. Under the lab data, all the files you're going to see it. Whatever file you require, basically. You need to download the required file. You can download entire this GitHub. Also, you can sync it. Actually, I'll show you how to sync those all things. Now, as of now, I'm going with the raw. Then click on the raw. Hmm, excellent. Okay. Some reason if I click on the raw, it's not allowing. Okay, let me go for edit. Then I'm able to see emp.csv. This file I'm trying to create somewhere. I'm creating in my local system. I'm creating. Suppose I'm going to the Databricks. Let's say data engineering we have here. Under the data engineering, today's folder I'm creating. So B, then 2303, then 7 a.m. I'm creating today's folder. And let me create a file, new, then test document. Okay, let's go for EMP, and this type of file is equal to CSV. So I'm giving as a CSV. Then this file I want to open, right click, then open using Notepad++. I'm trying to paste here, save it. Wow, beautiful. Now you created here a file called as emp.csv in our local machine you created. Now this file, whatever available, I want to upload it. Copy this path, whatever available. Now we want to upload here. So go to the portal. This is where we are. Here you can go for upload option. Then it is expecting upload to the blob. We're uploading to the blob. It's saying clearly drag and drop files here or browse the files. Okay, I'm going for a drag and drop or browse. Let's go for the browse. Then I have, this is the path where I have the files. Click on open. There you can notice we have emp.csv is available. Select that emp.csv. This fun file is selected, emp.csv. Then if suppose this file is already available and it thinks like you want to override that one, there is an option called as override if file is already exist. Each and every control what you see here, those equivalent coding also possible. I can write one Python code to get file from my local machine and override into the blob. Okay, vice versa. Read from the blob to local machine. Everything Python snippets already available. Just go to the Google, get it that code, and you can run from outside also. I'll talk about how to control the entire thing using Python and all. Now, time being, we are trying to select here, click on upload. Now you can notice emp.csv is uploaded and you can see 699 bytes of data. It is uploaded, I can say. Now, once you think like it's done, you can go and you can close this upload blob, this option. Don't use in the top into mark. This top into mark is entire browser close. This into mark is only what? This upload blob close. I hope I am clear. Don't use top into mark. You have to use this into mark. You have to use it. Okay, don't use this one. This is browser close. Okay, you have to use only this into mark to close this one. Okay, now I am trying to close this. Upload blob is completed. You can notice name and modified access type, blah blah. Some options we are able to see it here. Now, more options apart from what it is given here, you can see using these three dots, you can see it. If you click on the three dots, we have much more options. We're able to see it. You can view or edit, we can download, we can observe the properties, okay, or you can delete. There are a number of options we have it. Suppose I want to view or edit. Click on the view or edit. There you can notice emp.csv file we are going here. There we can see overview page. In the overview page, we have the URL. If you want to access from outside using URL, then this URL is going to help you out. Once you uploaded some file, then that will generate one URL for you. Now, this file generated a URL for you. This is the URL what it is generated. It is showing here clearly some information to you. What is the information? What is this one? What is this one? It is our blob. And what is this input here? It is container. What is this one? Our folder. What is this one?
File.
Our file. So by seeing this URL, clearly you come to understand what is your storage account name, what is your storage account, okay, and we also come to understand what is your container name, what is your container name, container name, and also you can observe what is the folder name, what is the folder name, what is the folder name. Then we also see the what is your file name. You can able to observe it. Someone shared the URL to you. Then if you want to navigate to that URL manual way, there all the information is whatever you required. We have the information here. So you also see here now our hierarchy is matching. Storage account has a number of containers. One container has a number of folders. One folder has a number of files. Something like this. The URL will be available for any file. Okay, I think we are good enough. We understand now what is this URL, and you can see much more better information here. When it is created, when it is last modified, what is the size of this one, and it is a hot tire or it is a cool tire. Hot tire means daily we need it, means we are going to keep in the hot tire. Archival purpose, backup purpose we are keeping means we'll go for the cold purpose or cool purpose. Now we have here versions. So it automatically maintains the versions for you. Okay, if you want to again you upload it, we have the versions are available. Okay, now click on here edit. In this field itself, if you want to change couple of things, you can go ahead and you can change it. The salary 800, you want to change it to 900 for example, you can go and you can change that as a 900. You can change it. Then you can click on here save. Now it is saved here. You can observe now. Now now if you see here versions, okay, still is not created. It is not created. Okay, some reason it's created, it's taking some time, maybe it will create. Okay, now generally if you modify something, you try to save it, it is going to create the versions, it is going to create it. Now here I modified as 900. Then if you want to see here itself preview, you can able to observe here 900, we're able to see it. Okay, so then we are trying to close this one. Here we can observe multiple options. And all the files you may not able to open from here itself. View or edit is available for small size of files. If it is going beyond some 20 MB kind of thing, it will not be opened. If you click on here, view or edit, now we are able to see this file details and all. At that moment, it's going to show a error message or banner. I cannot show that file like that. Okay, at that moment, we have to go for the download option, download to your local machine. Then you do whatever modifications you required. Then again, you need to upload it. Are you getting my point? Now again, you need to upload the same file, means go for upload, then browse the files. The files are available under the here. Select that file, click on open. Now, as this file is already available, it's showing as the following files already exist. Say as override that file, then say as upload the file. Now it's showing as it's uploaded. Now go and try to observe the cmp.csv, um, it's uploaded or not. Now it is uploaded, and see, still versions are not generating. Okay, some option I need to enable it. Okay, I'll look into that one. Now, so we have here edit, and you can see here 800 is the what it is came, because 900 I changed it, but still I went back and I uploaded the old file. That's what we are seeing, the 800. Okay, old file you uploaded. So that's how we can able to override the file whatever available, or one or two options you want to change it, you can go and you can directly modify it itself. Okay, if it's a big file, then we have to select this one and you have to download it. Let's select this one and you have to download it and modify, again upload it. That's what the options what we have. I think with this we're able to understand what exactly meaning of these things: uploading the file, then creating the folder, then creating the container, creating the storage accounts. Any questions on this one? We play around it for remaining points purpose. For each and every option, we have the I. I stands for information. I recommend wherever you see the I option, try to read that one fully. Try to read that one fully so that that gives you much more information. Now, let me move on to the next one that's called as database level. Okay, we understand now storage accounts, we understand. We went for the storage account, we created container, folder, files, those things. Now I would like to create here some database, I want to create it. Generally, we are in the Microsoft products, so go for Microsoft, okay, SQL server, we want to create it. Or we have the something known as Azure SQL database. So Azure SQL database also backend it uses SQL server only, but it's a something light version kind of thing. Okay, or if you want to go for some Oracle, you want to create inside the cloud, you can create it. You name whatever database you want it. Mostly the database you can able to create it. You can able to create it inside the cloud. You can able to create it. Okay, let's go and try to create here one database. We try to create it. I'm going here. Then we are trying to explain here Azure SQL database. We are trying to explain. Okay, best for modern cloud applications. Okay, hyperscale and serverless. Blah blah. Now I have here lab one. We are going to the Azure SQL. Then under the services, we are trying to click on here Azure SQL. Then Azure SQL will be opens. There we need to select the subscription, resource groups, database names, and server admin login, and passwords. These all informations we have to provide as required. Then you are going to get here one resource. You are going to get it. Okay, let's go and try to create here your database. I'm going here. Then go to the home screen. This is where we are in the home screen. Now in the home screen, you can notice as of now, we have the resource under our resource group. This is our resource group. It's created as part of the activating the sandbox. Under our resource group, as of now, how many resources we have? Under our resource group, how many resources we have? Whatever we created, two resources we created. In which region we created? East US we created, right? East US we created. Now you understand we have the resource group. Resource group is the one which is going to identify all our resources. Suppose we have big customer is available. Their different LOBs are there, and one LOB is called as uh, s- no relation with the other LOB. At that moment, what will happen is for each LOB, we are going to create the one resource group because the billing, funding, everything will be coming from that LOB only. So we don't want to mix up both the LOBs. We don't want to mix up, though it both are belongs to same company. So we are going to create the resource groups to control all our resources. Under one resource groups, you may have n number of resources. Today, we created just now two resources we created, two storage accounts we created. Okay, one is SA321, which is only blob. This is only blob. This is data lake. Now, in the under this resource group only, I want to create here one Azure SQL database. I want to create it. Okay, let's go and try to create it. We can go to the home. Okay, we are in the home screen. There you can notice we have the SQL databases, we have it. Or you can type here Azure SQL database you wanted. The moment you type here Azure SQL, we're able to see the Azure SQL, we're able to see it. If you click on Azure SQL, now now it's asking Azure SQL, it's going with the Microsoft Learn Sandbox. Then click on here Create. If you click on the Create, then it's going to ask a bunch of information from you. So you want to create here SQL database, single database, or we have Elastic Pool or database server, a number of options. So best for modern cloud applications, hyperscale and serverless options are available. I would like to go with the single database. And what is the difference among uh, these options? You can able to see below. You see the single database means what you're going to get, Elastic Pool means what you're going to get, database server means what you're going to get. You can observe the differences. Mostly we have a role called as Azure admin role is available. Separate that is separate. In the training room, we have getting the chance to create the Azure SQL database, storage accounts, containers, everything you're creating it, right? Mostly in our live project, we are not going to create the Azure SQL databases, storage account, those all things you won't create it. You don't have option to create also. Azure admin is the one who is responsible to create the storage accounts, databases, those all things. Because you're creating something here means you're directly spending the money, right? We have to think and choose according to your requirement. You have to choose the correct uh, softwares, correct configurations. You have to choose it. There is a different role actually. Azure admin role is available. As we are in the training room, that is the reason we are creating our own things. We are creating it. Am I clear? So we are going with a single database time being. Single database are a great for modern cloud born applications that needs a fully managed database with predictable performance. And we go for hyperscale storage up to 100 terabytes of data and serverless compute. Okay, and easy management. These are the options what we have. Now I would like to go with a single database. Let's go and try to say as click on create. Now it's showing as create SQL database, and basics is showing create SQL database with your preferred configurations. Complete the basics tab, then go to the review and create the blah blah. These two are common. Subscription is common, and next is resource group. We have to select it. The resource group also we have here. Learn is the resource group. That learn resource group is selected. Now it is asking the database name. Let us give the database name as okay. So it is a Azure database. So we say as DB. Then this is 23, and today you created so 21. I am creating it. DB2321. Now it's asking to select the server. We don't have any server, right? We need to create one now. If we go to the drop down, I'm not seeing any servers. So we can map one database to n number of database to one server even. N number of databases you can map to one server. I don't have any server. That is the reason I'm creating it. If already you have the server, I can map to that server. Now you can click on here, create new server. Then we are going to get another screen. There you can provide the server name. You can provide it. Okay. Now we are trying to say as database server. I am saying DBS, and 23 and 21 we are trying to provide it. Then location is for all the locations. I am selecting the East US only. I am selecting. Okay. Now authentication method, use only Azure Active Directory authentication, or use both SQL and Azure AD authentication, or use only SQL authentication options. We have it. Okay, now use only Azure Active Directory authentication we have here. Let us go for use both. Use both SQL as well as Azure AD authentications. Now server admin login is expecting. Let me provide here admin login as we are trying to provide RRITEC is the admin login username, and password I'm trying to provide here RR capital, then ITEC small, 12, then hashtag I'm providing. Your password cannot contain all or part of the login name. Part of login name is identified. Okay, okay. I'm not able to provide it. Okay, SA admin I am providing. SA admin I am providing. SA is the uh, SA is the general username. Whenever you create the SQL server, there is an SA provided. Then admin is admin. Then I can go and I can now give RR take 12 hashtag. Then we are trying to provide RR capital, IT small 12 hashtag. Now we created here, we are trying to create here one server. The server name is DBS 2321 and location is East US. Then we are saying as use both SQL authentication as well as Azure Active Directory authentication. Okay, now we are going to click on here. Okay, the value must not be empty. Okay, select Azure AD admin. It is asking. Select the admin. I don't think I have any other users, right? Let us go for, don't go for both. Let's go only use SQL authentication. Okay, we are seeing only use SQL authentication because I need one more user. Okay, we are using the sandbox environment. I don't have one more user. Sandbox is for single user, right? We don't have one more. That's the reason we are going only SQL authentication, not with the AD authentication. AD means Active Directory. Once you join into your company, your mail ID also will be in the Azure Active Directory only actually. Now we are trying to say as click on OK. I think we are clear in this page. Any questions in this page? Any questions in this page? We provided the server name we provided. That is the only option you did from our side. And we selected your authentication method is equal to we selected that as use SQL authentication we selected. Then one username is required and password is required. We provide the username as SA admin, password as RR capital, IT small 12 hashtag. Then click on here, OK. Okay, now it's going to create here server, it is going to create it, and that server it is mapping here. Then if you want to use the SQL Elastic Pool, you can say yes. And what is the workload you want to use for production or development? Let us go for the development. I am selecting here development and here compute storage. So configure, it is going for the one vCore, then 32 GB storage and zone redundant, it is going here, disabled. Now, if you want to configure some other options, you can go and you can configure. You can see the billing also here based on your configurations. This billing will be changes. Okay. Now we are going with the serverless. We are going compute resources are auto scaled, build per second based on the vCores. Dedicated server it won't have. Whenever you run it, how much time it is taking, how many resources it is using, that much of money will be charged from you. Okay. And hardware configurations, we have up to 80 cores and 240 GB memory, blah blah. If you want to decrease or increase anything, you can play around it. Okay, this is what the billing basically, based on adjustments what you are doing, this billing will be changes. That's what I said. Creating some resource is a special role, that is Azure admin role. Azure admin role. Okay, so we need to understand, okay, how much money we have and what is our infrastructure requirement. By matching these two things, you have to create the servers and all. Now, as of now, we are good with this one. Let's say apply. And here we have the backup storage. Let us go with the local. Local is enough for us. Then, then go and try to say as review and create. Let's go and try to say create. Now you can notice in the bottom it is doing the validation. Then it is doing the deployment. The deployment progress you can observe here. Submitting the deployment. Submitting the deployment template for resource group. This is the resource group it's submitting. Then after few seconds, you will be in a position to see your Azure SQL database is available. Wow, beautiful. Now you completed here creating your resource, one server you created, one database you created, and this database and server we map it together, and we have one username, one password. What is your username? You created now one database, one server. Okay, database name is called as DB 23 and 23 and 21. I think we created something. We can see that one anyhow. If you forgot also, DBS 23 21. You created something. Then we went for one username. We created SA admin, and password we created RR capital ITEC small 12 hashtag. Right. Let us go and try to observe once it is created. Then we want to create here one table. I want to create it. Open this database, whatever we created. Click on query editor. Then under SQL Server authentication, provide username and password. Then you can start creating the tables. Maybe I'm creating a DB table. Then I'm inserting some data. Then creating the EMP table. Then I'm inserting some data. Then I'm creating a salary table. Then I'm inserting some data, blah, blah. Then I want to observe data, whatever available. We are writing a select star from EMP. We're able to see the data, whatever available. Okay, let's go and try to quickly see that one. We are going here. Then deployment is still in progress. So you can notice what are the things it is doing in the back end, right? So DBS 2321, then it's saying as created. DBS 2321 server, it's created. And inside the server, it's going for the connection policies. Okay. Now it's going for next one that is called as database. It's creating DBS 2321. Under this server, it's creating DB 2321. It's creating. These all are related to the servers only, and top one, whatever it is creating, is related to the database. Am I clear? Now let it go. Let it go. Let me go to the home screen. Meanwhile, in the home screen, if you see here, it's showing as SQL database. It's created DB2321. Object is there, but yeah, now it's complete. Looks like deployment succeeded. Okay, once this deployment succeeded, you can notice whatever things are available, you can able to notice. If you click on Azure SQL alone, I have here DBS 2321 is available. This is under the category of what category it is, what type of database it is, what type of database it is. Are you there? Are you able
SQL,
to hear me? Yeah,
SQL data.
yeah, SQL Server. Now it is a DBS, stands for your server. Okay, database server that we created. Now under this database server, you can able to see um, our database is available DB2321. So this is our S is included here. S is available, and also say if you observe carefully, there is a wheel symbol is available. There is a wheel symbol is available. The wheel symbol is available means clearly you can identify it is a server. And without wheel symbol means you can able to observe it's a database. So this is our database. Now DB2321 is our database, and left side you can observe there are much more options are available in this one. Okay, here you can notice yeah, query editor is a something what I'm looking now. Using this query editor you can able to create our own tables, but generally in our real time we may not be using the query editor. We have our own IDs are available. Our own IDs are available. Like SSMS is the one of the IDE, best IDE. We are going to use it in the real time. We prefer to go with this one. We are going for Nest Lab that one. Time being, I want to create one table with the whatever they provide here query editor. Query editor is the where we can within the cloud itself. If you want to create some tables, play around it, you can do that one. We select here query editor. Now we are selecting here SQL Server authentication. Login as SA admin and password RR capital ITEC small 123 hashtag. Mostly it is the same thing. In the previous batches I provided, that's how system is remembered here. Let's click on here OK. Now it's asking here select a certificate. Okay, certificate informations are provided here. Let us go and try to say whatever it is there. Click on OK. Reason okay, something it's saying here. What is the problem? An instance specific error occurred while establishing connection was denied since denied public network access set to yes. Okay, see this information. Deny public access, deny public network access is saying. So somewhere this option we set up, not we set up, by default it is there in the server. There's this option is there as that means you should not allow anyone to access it, something like that. Go and try to modify this one as to no, so that we can able to access it. Okay, how to do that one, where you can do it. Let us duplicate this one first. I'll come back to this page. Okay, now we have here server. Let us go to the our server home screen. Then this is our server. You can see some small wheel symbol and also type is equal to SQL server. If you go to the SQL server, there you can notice left side we have networking. Under the networking, you can see public network access is equal to disabled is available, and we go for here select network. Okay, selected networks. Under the selected network, we can go and we can set up here rules, allow Azure services and resources to access this server. At least our service, Azure SQL database should be able to access, right? That is the reason we selected here. Any other IPs within our network you want it, you can go and you can add here manually. For example, my laptop address is this one. You can go and you can add this laptop address. Okay, tomorrow if you want to access from SSMS, from this IP address, it is able to access it. Okay, we have to select here options called as selected networks. Then we have to select here two options, whatever IPs using you want to access, as well as Azure services you have to select it. If you go and try to click on here save, then this will be saved. Updating server exceptions, updating server firewall rules. Let it complete. Once it is completed, then if you go and try this one, it should work. If you say OK, login failed for user SA admin, maybe it is username password issue now. Let me provide RR capital, IT is small, 12 hashtag. Click on OK. Now, maybe password is previously I used something different. Now we are able to log in. You can notice, do I have any tables here as of now? No. Any views? No. Any stored procedures? No. Now we understand we want to create some tables. If I want to create it, how I can do that then? I already given the script here. Go and try to use that script. I have the script. Let me, yeah. In the right side corner of the script, you'll see one copy button. Here we have, if you click in this one, there is a button called as copy. If you click on this one, this code, everything will be copied. Once it is copied, go here and try to paste into this window. Now we have 78 lines we pasted here, and at the big ending, we have some three colons. Remove that one. And yeah, I think we are good with this. Now go and try to execute this one. There is a run option. You can select all, then click on here run. It's going to run. It's saying as query succeeded. Affected rows, zero affected rows. Okay, four affected rows. Thereafter 15 affected rows. Thereafter five affected rows. Okay, first table has 4 rows, second table has 15 rows, third table has 5 rows. Now go and try to click on this refresh button here. If you click on refresh, you can expand the tables. Now we're able to see 3 tables, we're able to see it. Now I would like to clear this window. I'm clearing it. Then I want to see what is the data available inside the EMP. Select the EMP, these 3 dots. There is an option called as select top 1000 rows, select data preview, and if you want to rename, you can do that one. I want to go for select top 1000 rows. Then it's automatically creating the query for you. Select top 1000 from EMP. We're able to see the data, we're able to see it. I want to get only 10th department data, for example, then I can go and I can change this code accordingly, where department number is equal to 10. Then click on your run. We'll able to see only 10th department data. We're able to see it. You can see right side, scroll right side. We are seeing only department called as 10th department. We are seeing it because we applied the filter is equal to dpt number 10. We applied. Wow, beautiful. You created now one SQL database. You created one SQL database. You created inside the SQL database. You created some 3 tables. You created, and these 3 tables were able to query the data, and you can play around it. You can play around it. Okay, I think we are good enough with this one. This is what the lab, what we are trying to cover. Am I clear? Tomorrow we'll go with the SSMS um, configurations and all. Tomorrow we'll try to understand. Any questions in today's class? Any questions?
No, sir. Good for today. Thank you.